Why wouldn't you want that in a book? Not in real life. Real life is crazy. But like in a book. Like, Hi, my name is Inshalati. Welcome to also the book club. So today we're going to be doing a fun topic. I'm going to be telling you guys about the reasons I love thriller novels. The last time I did one of these, I talked about the reasons I DNF books, and I figured that had a lot of negative energy. So let's do something positive today and talk about the reasons I love thriller novels. If you go through my channel, you'll notice that I talk about a lot of thriller novels. Until I started this channel, I didn't actually realize how many thrillers I actually read. And it's kind of a lot. So let me tell you why. And if this is something you want to stick around for, stick around. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to share this video with all your friends. The first reason on my list is the story keeps you hooked. Because there's so many clues that you need to gather throughout a mystery novel, you're constantly asked to be an active reader. And because of this, you're constantly on edge trying to figure out who did it, what happens next, who survives, what is the plot twist, and was I even right with anything that I had assumed about what is happening? And that's the fun part about thriller novels. You're constantly engaged with the story, because if you miss anything, you might miss how we get to the plot twist. And I think that's one of my favorite things to do, trying to figure out what happened. The second thing on my list is the stakes are usually high. People are dying. People are trying to survive. People have a lot of secrets. There's so much danger. And all this danger could be life-changing for some characters in the story. This is one of the things that I enjoy the most about thriller novels. In some genres, you find yourself just reading with no stakes. People are happy. People are not happy. I want dead people in the first chapter. In Something in the Water by Catherine Stedman, you have in the first not even the first chapter, on the first page of the book, somebody is digging graves for bodies. Now you're like hooked. Now you're hooked because you know that people die in the story. Should you get attached to anybody? No, because they might die in like 10 chapters. So that's what I enjoy the most. You're trying to figure out who's going to survive so that I can invest emotionally with that character. If not, you're just like holding on to dear life for people who could be dead after the next page. Do you see? So that's what I enjoy. I also enjoy the looming danger that surrounds most of these stories because of the high stakes. If you don't feel like your characters are going to die, you don't feel worried for them. You think this is just a normal day in the shopping mall. No, someone's going to pull out a gun and shoot you. And that's what I like to feel. I like to feel that at any point, anybody is expendable. And let's go. The third reason on my list is that a good twist will have you reeling for days, right? Because if they tell you something that you never saw coming, but if you reread the story, you realize, oh my God, then you feel betrayed. You start rethinking the whole story. And my favorite is when you have that jaw-dropping feeling. Because, oh my gosh, what the hell? Like, what the hell is going on? If you are following my Who's the Villain series, you will know that I am like screaming because of how good the story is with like key reveals or key plot lines. I am screaming. I'm constantly saying, what is going on? Because that is the feeling you need to have when a good twist comes around. If it's not doing that, what are we doing? What are we doing is always my question. The next reason on my list is one of my favorites. Thriller novels help you get out of a reading slump. And it's simply because the book is not trying to drive like emotion. No. The chapters are short. It is fast-paced. It has constant cliffhangers, and the tension is constant. And because the tension is constant, you never want to put the book down. You always want to see what is going to happen next. What is going to happen next? What is the mystery? What is the plot twist? And by the time you're done, you're like, Okay, and that's what I like about thriller novels. They get you into reading something quick, fast, and your brain is just constantly moving with all the active reading that you need to do to try and collect all the clues that you need to collect in order for you to feel like, oh my gosh, I know what's going to happen. Or, oh my goodness, I didn't see that happening. Or, oh my goodness, what the hell? So it's one of those things. I genuinely enjoy the fact that it gives you back the love for reading. And why wouldn't you want that if you are like a reader? Next reason on my list is the suspense created is done in a safe environment. In my house, I'm not skydiving, I'm not bungee jumping, but I want the adrenaline. And thriller novels often provide you with all the same experience in a sense, in terms of like emotionally, not physically, but emotionally. You find yourself feeling anxious, anticipating the next death. You're constantly tense, you're constantly paranoid, and that's something that it creates just from you constantly reading the book from line to line, chapter to chapter, without having you step outside and dying in real life. Do you know who's dying? The bad people or the good people in a high stakes thriller novel. And to me, that makes sense. To me, that makes sense. The second last reason on our list is that it often takes ordinary situations and makes them feel dangerous. Have you ever thought of a marriage as dangerous? No, because you don't think that your partner is keeping secrets and those secrets could get you killed, right? You don't think going to work could have devastating outcomes unless somebody is blackmailing you and forcing you to steal private information. It takes situations between friends and makes them explosive. Imagine you and your friend working together at a carnival and you realize your friend is stealing for the mob. It's crazy stuff, but you're just working at a carnival. And that's what I like. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see over the top type of no, simple people in their homes mistrusting the people around them. That's what I want to see. The last reason on my list is that it explores human psychology. Oh, so you have themes being explored in other genres like obsession, but obsession in a romance novel is often not framed using the double dharma effect. In the double dharma effect, depending on how you feel about the person, their actions could feel a certain way. They could feel creepy if you don't like that person, but really, really cute if you do like that person. Thriller novels elevate that feeling and make you feel like, oh, my stalker is quite dangerous and they might kill me. In a romance novel, you're thinking, oh, he's so cute. Especially if they're the two main characters. If they're not the main two characters, you know that man is a stalker. He's going to go to jail. He's not going to really hurt anybody. Think 50 Shades of Grey. I think in like the third book where Anna's boss was just like really, really creepy, but he really didn't kill anybody. He tried to, but he didn't really kill anybody. In a thriller novel, he would have slashed everybody, and that's what I want, you know? And then you also explore themes around manipulation. The author has to manipulate you and I into believing certain people are good people. Otherwise, we're gonna be like, who's the bad guy? There always needs to be a bad guy, and that's what I like. I also like the fact that people take revenge seriously in thriller novels. In a romance novel, if there's some revenge plot, it's some minor thing that happens for 10 seconds in the last 2 pages just to ratchet up the tension of the story. But in a thriller novel, I don't mind a few dead bodies. And that's what is so cool about thriller novels. They help you create all these crazy, crazy situations that are absolutely insane. Why wouldn't you want that in a book? Not in real life. Real life is crazy. But like in a book. Like, and then there's a lot of morality discussion. Have you seen when you're reading a book, you're like, yes, kill that person. But now in real life, you're like, oh, jail. He's a bad person, jail. In thriller novels, you are able to experience that conundrum of questions of whether it's right or wrong to kill the enemy. Yes, it is. That person has destroyed your life in a book, right? In a book. So why not? So it's those kinds of things that a thriller novel gets to do that I don't think other stories or other genres are allowed to do, because you need to kind of like temper it down, especially for like your contemporary novels. Your general fiction has to be normal day to day. On a normal day-to-day basis, people aren't walking around with the biggest secrets that could get like entire towns wiped out. So you see what I mean? That is very, 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 very key to like thriller novels, and that's why I genuinely enjoy them. So if you enjoyed what I've done today and the reasons I've given you for why I like thriller novels, then I guess like the video. Don't forget to comment if you like thriller novels or not. Also tell me reasons why you don't like thriller novels. I'll accept those. And see if they match up with anything that I've ever thought about. And don't forget to subscribe and share the video with all your friends. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.